this point in the tournament where, so many close matchups, close seeded matchups, and the maps are just in the right difficulty range to produce great matches, and this one's going to be no exception. CHOPSTICK Pros, incredibly strong, primarily Indonesian team versus a very heavily Russian-based team, and two very strong lineups here in the losers bracket, of course. So last chance saloon.
Yeah, these types of matchups in losers bracket at quarterfinals, when the pool starts to breaking the 7-star range, you start to see players start to hit their skill caps in these types of rounds. And apart from like those top teams that'll still shred this type of pool up, you start to see these players maybe in the high 4 digits, mid 3 digits, these types of players just put up absolutely banging matches on this type of map pool.
Yeah, it's the scary point, right? Where, even on, with the exception of maybe the speed maps where you can find a 4, so many teams will struggle to get a full 4 that'll just be able to steamroll it, like all of these maps. So you end up with these chaotic fights. It's great. This stage of the tournament is my favourite one to watch, and with the exception of maybe the grand final, this is the time.
Yeah, it's the least predictable, as you said. Like, you never know. Like, you have teams, you can't find a 4th on a map. You always feel bad for that player who has to be like, the speed player who has to go in for a gimmick map, or vice versa. Those players end up struggling a bit. But, it becomes a dogfight, and those are just always intense to watch.
I think in terms of this lineup, though, I think these two teams are definitely ones that have their particular strengths, but they are well-rounded enough that I think we could expect some solid play across the board on any of these maps at the quarterfinals level. So, but we'll see what they've got lined up. The Protect's coming in and banking that speed. I am not surprised with that team.
CMELLIAPUKU gonna protect the Hard Rock 3. I'm actually kind of surprised at that, because I feel like that map is a little bit more contestable because the skill set isn't really that polarizing. It's just fast aim. But these teams are gonna go a lot quicker than the last match. Instantly gonna be a free mod 3 ban coming out from CHOPSTICK Pros, the CS5 AR8 map. If you're protecting speed, that's not surprising.
Yeah, getting rid of that control. I mean, CMELLIAPUKU have some very scary low AR players and Hard Rock players, so.
And it looks like CMELLIAPUKU gonna knock out a DT1. Looks like the teams have established what their pick strategies are going to be, just with the protects and bans.
They're well prepared. Well up for this one.
Ooh, but a Hard Rock 2 first pick gonna come out from CMELLIAPUKU. This map is so interesting.
Oh, that background though. I think it's got the best background of this round. I will say that. Small circle size control. This one.
This song is a jam. Yeah, this is a very interesting combination of skill sets put into this map. You've got CS 6.5 as well as Alt, which is something you don't see too often, but I think the teams that have picked this have pretty much done very well on this. We saw this last night in the winners bracket match. I believe it was one of the top seeded teams did extremely well on this map, but you have to have some real coconuts in order to first pick this map, I'll tell you that. First picking CS 6.5 is just always a gamble in these tournaments because you have to deal with your first map nerves as well as the map.
I am a little bit surprised that the team to go straight into this is CMELLIAPUKU. They haven't gone for this small circle size map at all in the bracket stage so far, so this is a bit left field. They do like their Hard Rock though. They have picked plenty of it.
Yeah, I think with players like Temkanon, maybe Mr. Future, going to be looked at to perform well on this map. Meanwhile, CHOPSTICK Pros should be no slouches on this either. Going to be expecting to see maybe Rexys, maybe RLSC, some of their standout players to come in and perform well on this map. Maybe Dito as well.
In some of the other games I was able to cast some CHOPSTICK Pros. They definitely did have a very solid lineup on the more standard Hard Rock picks for sure. They did extremely well on the Hard Rock 1 last week. But you think something like this shouldn't be too far off the tree for them. They're well covered for any of these Hard Rock picks, surely. But I wonder how their full forward do. Who fills?
Yeah, exactly. And these players, they've been preparing for a while now, maybe struggling to find their roster for this. But it looks like we are going to finally get into the map. Looks like Fuma, Dito, Easy Chalk, and Rexys for Chopstick Pros going to be going up against Arclight, Temkana, NetWhyNot, and Vopro for Team CMELLIAPUKU. Now pass the booth.
Please do. Except not.
Yeah, no. We do not endorse drugs here at Corsace.
It's the last chance saloon for these two. They've got to bring their best, because this is it. If they drop the ball here, this is it for them this year. An early break there from Fuma, and from Arclight as well. Actually, a few coming in now.
You know, first map nerves. But, you know, when you're a little bit less comfortable in the lobby, and you go into a map like this with the cursor control, the flow aim requirement, and the CS 6.5, it is just a devious combination for an early pick, honestly. But CMELLIAPUKU is going to come out of the chaos with an early lead. But Chopstick Pros do have the combo advantage, so they're going to start to take it back, and they just do now, thanks to the combos on Dito and Rexys.
You mentioned this being a brave first pick. Look at the accuracies across the board. This is a big wake-up call. Some struggles across the board.
Yeah, no one really having that good of a time at this point in the map. The accuracies are so low. You mentioned this being a wake-up. It might just be like, you know, your 6 a.m. alarm on a Monday morning. And it looks like it might be for CMELLIAPUKU here on their first pick, as Chopstick Pros are about to take a massive lead here with the combo on Easy Chalk. They're going to go up by about 150,000, and at this point in the map, that is going to be huge, especially with the brace from NetWhyNot and Vopro, and Temkana as well. I think they might have just lost this.
Yeah, the accuracies on Dito and Easy Chalk just doing so much work, as well as that combo.
Yeah, you can't understate the accuracy on a map like this. When the accuracies are low, any accuracy that isn't low is going to make a massive difference, and you can see that especially with Dito. Up at around 95, he is going to have the top score in the lobby.
Oh, right off the bat then. Right off the bat. Straight away into this break point, and Dito, who's going to be one of the linchpins for this team, you feel, going forward. Having a nice opening performance, just with that 2 miss. Solid Act 2, for this map at least.
Yeah, Dito, big performance. Going to be an early breakpoint for Chopstick Pros, and they're going to go right into their own pick, I think with something speedy, in order to consolidate that.
Yeah, one thing you look at with this lineup is, yeah, these guys like their speed. These guys like their speed, and with the Protect, it really does say that surely they're going to go into something high BPM, even if it isn't No Mod 5. It just seems obvious to go into that straight away with the choices of maps they're going to have, right?
Yeah, and they've got a lot of speed left in the pool up for them. With the DT1 ban from CMELLIAPUKU, they still have this No Mod 5 that they protected. They've got a DT2 as well as a DT3. And, you know, 3 picks, that can carry you through a lot of the match.
Two full stamina maps, around 230 BPM they could go for. The No Mod 5 is one. The Double Time 2 is another. They could go into the raw speed if they want. I think that might be a bit more even between the two, you think? A bit more bursty, that DT3. But any of those picks, you'd think would be pretty good in a 4v4. Unless they throw something completely left field, just to spite us, Miles.
Yeah, and you know, they might do that. They're taking their time with this pick. Unless they're being proactive, getting their roster ready before the map is end. Oh my god, that is the opposite of where we think they would. Dude, like, what? You can't just, like, protect No Mod 5 and then first pick No Mod 6? Like, what are you doing? Okay, well, they know something we don't, Dooms, so.
Hey, you know what? I can get behind this. I can get behind this. I love me some devious panda mapping.
And, you know, this map does have its speed element in it. As much as it is bursty in the map, or as much as it is control focused, it has those bursts that are high BPM that we saw a lot of players in the last match struggle with. So maybe they're hoping to throw it out of left field to do that. Like, if they can get this win on No Mod 6 now, they'll have the 3 speed maps left for them later.
That's true. That's true. They do have plenty of good control players in their roster as well. They did like to go for the No Mod 6 earlier in the tournament. Not too far from, what they usually go for, but it's usually more of a side pick, you'd think. I guess opening up with something a bit more contested. And if they can take it, that's massive going into their next pick.
Yeah, if you can win that early break point and then instantly take a contested pick and then still have those guaranteed picks for later, it is just huge. But if this does backfire and CMELLIAPUKU does win this, it's gonna leave them with a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth, because I feel like when you get this early break point, at least from my experience, you really want to consolidate it, like, no matter what. Like, getting up 2-0 is really big in a matchup like this. And if they drop this, I feel like it's just going to be really tragic for them.
It's risky for sure. They'll look pretty damn good if they can take the win on this one, though. It's this one in particular, it really reminds me of, was it Piano X Forte, another map that Devious Panda made. It's very similar to me. Flow aim into 1-6 and 1-8 bursts on the end of streams, so like I say, that particular finger control is something you see throughout this one.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. But I think the finger control element on this one might be a little bit heavier. The emphasis on the 1/6 and 1/8 is a little stronger on this over Piano X Forte. And as we look at this, everyone having a lot of trouble in the beginning. This is an evil type of map to have to adjust to in Eternity Lobby.
Well, those that guess played the last one have at least a little bit of a taste of that, but different kettle of fish this. And you can see the accuracies again tanking, but it's very slightly better on the side of CMELLIAPUKU in the early stages.
But once again, it's going to be Dito showing up with a big combo here for Team Chopstick Pros, as well as some backing combo from Easy Chalk and Rexys. The accuracies, though, unlike last map, are staying low for everybody. Only Net Why Not is above 90.
Combo gaming in full force here. Oh, they're dropping now. Oh, that's Bancho, never mind. Still two big combos. Okay, maybe one now. Man, the combo game is strong.
It really is. Last match, the winner had only 670k on the entire winning team. Yeah, it's all Rexys right now. When it comes to this combo game and such low accuracies, when you have the large combo, you're going to have the advantage. But there goes Rexys. And that means Temkana is going to be able to start to reel this back in. Not anymore.
Just fumbling a bit on those doubles. Some of his finger control. Does seem like as a team, Chopstick Pros are definitely more comfortable on this. They might get away with this one as it stands.
Dito now with the big combo. Yeah, not going to see any high accuracy on this like we saw from Kama in the last match. His accuracy on this was kind of unreal. Meanwhile, still, everyone in the lobby is below 90%. This shows how difficult the finger control is on this.
Yeah, this map's no joke. This is no joke. These first picks have been particularly nasty maps. Starting out with some of the hardest ones in the pool.
Yeah, actually.
And it's looking like Chopstick Pros are going to get away with this, though. And I say overall, they do look like a better team. It's honestly a good pick looking at the way this is going. 36k on Arclight, 73 on Markram. They are really not having a good time.
Yeah, and taking this more contested map early on into the match, as we mentioned earlier, this is going to be so huge for Chopstick Pros. They now go up 2-0, and they keep their speed for later in the match.
They couldn't have hoped for a better start to this. Absolutely. That Rexys, that combo game, though. 722 combo. Honestly, really damn good combo. But really, the accuracies as well. 96 at its peak. Just shows how hard this map is. The B ranks are solid players on this.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you start to look at what the overarching skill sets are on this map. When you combine something as control-focused and burst-heavy as this, you get one demon of a map to actually perform well on in a match, combining both reading aspects and speed aspects. You end up with this kind of mesh of skill sets that not many players are very good at, and that is probably why all of them got such low accuracies on this. But yeah, with the pick going back to CMELLIAPUKU, they're really going to have to get on the board here. And I think they might want to go for something more raw reading intensive. They've still got a hidden 2 on the board if they want to go for that. But I'm not sure if they really want to pick that into Chopstick Pros here.
I think if they do that, they'll be relying on individual carries. The way this match is going, it does seem like the sort of match where a singular player could really run away with it, and Markram is the player you'd want on a low AR map when he's feeling up to it. It's a risky player though. I think they should still go for something as a team that they're feeling more. They do like their hard rock, but do they want it again? No, they don't. They are going hidden.
Hidden 3.
I love me some flow aim. I love me some tech on hidden.
I love me some, hopefully not chain missing. This map is demonic if you chain miss on it.
The Altai special. And if you've played Altai maps recently, you probably know what to expect with this. 165 BPM, streamy, techy, cut streamy style. And yeah, if you fall off some of these patterns, you're in for a world of hurt. Very unforgiving. Hidden players rise up on this one for sure. The specialists can really flex on this.
I'm gonna be looking at Markram and Rexy's probably. I think they're gonna be the standout players on each team. Dito maybe as well. Except I haven't really seen Markram as active recently, but in that guy's heyday, that guy was the biggest hidden reading D ranker of them all.
Yeah, you see him on so many leaderboards on those particularly low AR hidden maps, but all sorts of maps on hidden. You do see him around some unique scores. He does play tournaments occasionally. He's done well. I haven't seen him too often in like open rank myself, but he's capable.
For sure.
Plenty of hidden coming out from CMELLIAPUKU, so they have gone for it quite a lot. They did pick the hidden 3 last week. 1.5 million on that one. The scores are very comparable because both these teams played that one. Very similar scores. Different map though.
It looks like Chopstick Pros are going to be going with Easy Chalk, Fuma, Dito, and Rexy's on this. Up against Arclight, Temkana, NetWhyNot, and Markram. Not really sure how to feel about Easy Chalk on hidden. He is typically good at these more flow-oriented maps, but I haven't really seen him play much hidden. Now into these little plus-shaped patterns we saw a lot of people get caught out on in the last match. Looks like Arclight and Easy Chalk going to be the ones to find breaks, as well as Temkana. Rexy's finding a drop as well. Like we've got 2 combos of 2 right now. Dito and Fuma up against Markram and NetWhyNot.
Doesn't stop. Both big combos are gone on CMELLIAPUKU now. Just Dito left with the FC.
Look at him go. He finally finds a drop. That is so unfortunate, finding a couple of slider breaks there.
The chain misses from here from Chopstick Pros. Temkana's going off. Never mind. But they're back with the lead slightly.
Just a bit. By about 40,000 points, CMELLIAPUKU now has the lead. And you know, going into the flow section of the map, if you find some chain misses, that could literally swing the score over in one single chain miss. It's all going to be about who holds better. And with those breaks from Dito and Easy Chalk on the build-up, it's not looking good for Chopstick Pros. But here we go. Temkana first a drop.
Oh,
okay.
They're all gone. Everyone on CMELLIAPUKU's gone.
And the lead goes back to Chopstick Pros. Another breakpoint might be on the cards here as their score lead just skyrockets as they all hold through the flow section and everyone on CMELLIAPUKU falters. It is going to look like another breakpoint in favor of Chopstick Pros here. ending up winning by over 130,000 score. Wow.
And they did so well on that flow aim section. All 4 players holding for quite a long time there on Chopstick Pros. And banking it relatively comfortably in the end. It was so close all the way, though. Nice recovery. And 4 miss from Fuma. That's a really good miscount for this.
Fairly high accuracy as well. 95 is pretty good. Highest accuracy in the lobby, though, is going to go to Markram, I think.
Yeah, he's the hidden guy.
Yep, no surprises there.
And I mean, it was definitely competitive. It was just a really good 4-way run at the end that decided it there for Chopstick Pros. But when they're 3-0 up with the next pick in tow, they still have speed. They still have a bit more control if they want to go in that direction. But I think at this point, this is the point to pick one of those speed maps going into those next bans.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up 3-0 and you have 3 speed maps that you're perceived to be very advantaged on left, at this point in the match, you can kind of just start coasting it out. Like, at this point, in Chopstick Pros' eyes, you don't need any more breakpoints as much as you'd like to have them. If you have those DT maps still in your pocket, you're going to be able to get at least 2 points off of them, considering that CMELLIAPUKU bans out one of them. So it looks like they're taking their time here. Want to make sure they are solidified in their pick, and they're going to go for the Nomad 5 they protected.
Oh, playing it safe then. Playing it safe. Just looking to try and seal out a really nice 4-0, possibly. You'd think they'd be in a good spot to do it now. They can start flexing those speed muscles. Or at least stamina muscles.
RSI muscles.
Yeah. RSI resistance buff.
Exactly.
These ones got some pretty long streams. You do need to be. 238 BPM long streams. Not quite as bursty as maybe some of the other maps we've seen in this slot, but yeah, this one got quite a few longer streams. You know, you can kind of compare it to what we tend to see in the DT2.
I'm thinking we'll see a slightly different roster from both teams on this, as we've played mostly the gimmickier maps thus far in the match. Gonna be seeing the mechanics specialist come into the lobby, except I might expect Easy Chalk to stay on for Chopstick Pros. That guy is very strong on his streams.
I think Rexys will be staying in as well for this sort of thing. And CMELLIAPUKU, the only DT they've gone for so far in brackets is the DT1, the more aim-oriented one. And that was round of 32, so they have avoided a lot of this, you know, the speedier side of the pools, I guess.
Yeah, funny you mentioned the DT1. That was actually their ban going into this match, so...
Yeah. That's what they played, but must have been the other team's pick. They scored pretty well on it, though.
And it looks like I am wrong. Easy Chalk is not in the lobby, but Chopstick Pros are going to be rolling with Fuma, Armani Dilbo, RLSC, and Rexys. Up against Boso Pro, Temkana, Mr. Future, and Robloxa. Those are the players on CMELLIAPUKU I was expecting to see. Mr. Future and Robloxa, both two very strong stream players.
And the early break from Rexys, he wasn't happy about it. The smoke came out.
This is our first sighting of Armani Dilbo in this match for Chopstick Pros. One of the up-and-coming Fortages from the USA. Very good at these types of speed maps. Looks like he is going to be showing it here in Corsace Open on the open rank stage. Up at almost 98% on this speed map. He is looking very strong. The combos are still alive for CMELLIAPUKU though on Mr. Future and Voso. Vopro. I misread that guy's name.
Long names. Another break there from Mr. Future, so it's 2 FCs to 1 now in favour of Chopstick Pros. There goes Armani, but it's still 1 FC to 1. Still in a great position here. It's on Fuma though, who misses that stream. Hang on.
Vopro has got a lot of score left on his FC. He's gonna start to take the lead back. And it is shrinking so quickly. Look at that. It is already down to just about 100k score. He needs to hold on, though, and hope for more breaks from Chopstick Pros. I think there's enough time, Dooms.
I think there is, but he's got to get those carry pants on. 60k, it's closing quickly.
Here it comes, the final stream. Ugh! Oh my god! He's taking it! Look at the carry. VoPro.
Stack. Wow, he looked so rock solid as well. Barely any act drops. Cool as you like. 98%. Great FC there, and his team needed that so badly.
Yeah, they just took Chopstick Pro's protected pick. That is one hell of a way to get yourself back into the match.
Yeah, God, and that alone can mess around with Chopstick Pros. They've had such a good start to this game. To drop that speed pick, that might throw some of their other pick strategy into flux a little bit going into these bans. So, well, what now?
I mean, I'm not sure if Chopstick Pros are going to start to shy away from speed, because if you looked at the other scores from CMELLIAPUKU, you saw a very weak score from Temkina, maybe suffering some fourth player syndrome on their side for the speedier maps, but, you know, maybe... I don't really know what to say. VoPro just put on his freaking carry pants for that one, making up all the difference that we perceived was between these teams on speed.
It does close the gap now, because they can be competitive, although they did have to rely on that one extremely good score. I do agree that DT is still in a good spot for Chopstick Pros, but I wouldn't say it was as one-sided as maybe they would have thought. Anyways, the ban is coming in, so Team 1 starting off. Chopstick Pros opening up with bans.
But yeah, what I think you were definitely right about is how this is going to throw the ban phase into disarray. Because now CMELLIAPUKU is going to have to wonder, do we really want to ban the speed? And Chopstick Pros, I think their strategy is going to stay rock solid, except they've been winning the gimmick maps that CMELLIAPUKU have been picking, so... Might be a little bit of confusion because both teams are winning what they were perceived to be weaker at, so...
Well, if I'm looking at like the way the bans have previously gone here for Chopstick Pros, they banned DT3 last time, and honestly, I think DT2 is still pretty good for them. DT3 might be a bit closer, although I don't think they want to ban that in this instance. That's what they banned last time, unless you have something else in mind.
Not really sure what to see. They're gonna go for a Hard Rock 1. Okay, so CMELLIAPUKU protected the Hard Rock 3. Maybe you're gonna feel a little comfortable on the more aim-oriented Hard Rock maps, so Chopstick Pros may be seeing that, thinking, looks like they might want to pick some Hard Rock aim-focused maps. Do we really want to play either of these? Nah? Okay, we're gonna ban HR1 then. And that's what they did.
Could be. The CMELLIAPUKU did have a good score on the one last week, so actually that's a pretty good ban in this instance. Looking at that. It all works out for him. CMELLIAPUKU banning the No Mod 4. That does make sense, actually. That does make sense, given the way this game has gone.
Yeah, you know, the combo gamers on Chopstick Pros have been having really good matches. Looking at Rexy's and Dito. Gonna think, what's the next most combo gameable map? Look at that, and they're gonna ban it out. And CMELLIAPUKU is gonna pick DT2!
Okay, then. Okay, then.
Yeah, okay.
Anything you can do, I can do better, they're saying. So we're going to pick the DT2.
Heck yeah.
Well, if this works out, they're going to look like the smartest people in the room, Miles.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like these teams not looking back. You know, they've said they beat us on our gimmickier maps. We beat them on their speed maps. So let's just pick more speed.
We're warm. We mashed buttons for a while. It's time to go for this map. And this one is pretty similar in like the skill sets needed to that No Mod 5. It's ever so slightly slower, 234 BPM this time. The classic El Cheer stamina map in the DT pool. Fairly straightforward, all about that stamina. Lots and lots of bursts and streams.
Yeah, El Cheer's style of stamina map. It's become a little bit synonymous with the slot, almost. You think of that one OWC map, I'm forgetting what it's called now. It's on the tip of my tongue. It was in Grand Finals, I believe, a couple years ago.
But he is... What was it? WWW?
Yeah, WWW.
Yeah.
He's continued to map songs, or not songs, map similar to that, and it's many times ended up in this DT2 slot.
It's got that, like, real sort of comfy aim style where it is all about your left-hand stamina, your left-hand mashing. And it suits those speed teams down to a T. CMELLIAPUKU. Hopefully their backups are more warm, because if they're picking this, they must have at least some confidence that their backup players can fill the gaps that were left in the last map, perhaps.
And it looks like Temkana is not going to be playing this speed pick, and it looks like they're going to bring in Mr. Future instead, which I think will benefit them on this lower BPM. Or was Mr. Future in last time? Okay.
There's Robloxer, I think, that's just joined.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a couple early breaks on this. Mr. Future, Fuma, Armani Dilbo, all finding some breaks. And Net Why Not very early on, but there goes RLSC as well. It's going to start off in favor of CMELLIAPUKU, but it is still very early. Here we go into the chorus. No players finding breaks on the first stream, but there goes Mr. Future in the middle of it. Fuma finding another break as well. Rexy's dropping a lot back.
Yeah, he's really struggling. Dropped quite a few streams. Sea of 50s. That act drop's gonna hurt him in this 4v4.
Okay, now we're gonna see Vopro once again putting up a very strong performance on speed. Up at around 98%, still holding on to his FC. And it looks like CMELLIAPUKU, as of right now, is going to retain this advantage on speed. Barring a collapse, Vopro is once again going to be the driving force of their speed roster, along with a backing combo from Net Why Not.
I mean, do you have to hold a bit more, because CHOPSTICK Pros could still recover here. Plenty of the map to go. But yeah, Vopro once again. He is ready for these speed maps. He is going off.
Yeah, look at him go. 97%, still holding on to the FC once again. We're going to see if he can run that into the ending. Once again, putting up an unreal score on the speed map. Best in the lobby by far. And it just doesn't matter what CHOPSTICK Pros does as long as he holds. He finally does break along with Net Why Not. Okay. I was going to say Fuma's combo might have made this interesting in the end, but
nah.
He finds a break, and even then, there wasn't really enough time for them to take back the lead. Look, it's so massive. 500,000 score in favor of CMELLIAPUKU.
Yeah, on the back of those two extremely good combos and scores from Net Why Not and Vopro. And once again, yeah, they've gone in for the speed, and it's paid out. And paid out really handsomely. And they are right back in this off two picks we thought were really not favoured for them. Well,
just how Osu tournaments go sometimes, you know.
Yeah. This is what happens. This is what happens in this round. The matches are so hard to call. It's a big individual performances turning even picks like this right around. Props to CMELLIAPUKU.
Yeah, you know, we really thought CHOPSTICK Pros were going to be able to run away with the match after winning the first 3 picks and 2 break points even. But now CMELLIAPUKU have turned it right around. They're back up on the board with 2 picks of their own. And the pick goes back to CHOPSTICK Pros, though. They're going to try to retain their lead.
Yeah, they are still in a good spot. All things considered, they are still in the driving seat with the advantage. It is the time to go into some more gimmicky things. The No Mod 4 ban does point that out. Things like possibly a No Mod 3. Maybe some of the other maps in that free mod pool fit the bill there. Maybe even DT4, the Skyflame ult map in DT.
I think those might be good picks when you look at who's playing well on their side. Dito and Rexy's very powerful Indonesian duo. Gonna maybe be looking towards their skill sets and what you pick at this point in the match. When what you prepared to be the speed team in this match if you want to protect No Mod 5. But if that doesn't go well for you, you really just have to look at who's playing well and start to pick for them. Especially in a dogfight of a match like this one where we see a lot of the third and fourth players in the lobby struggling.
Yeah, I think that's the shout. I think that's the way they should go. But will they do it? Will they do it? They've got to mull this one over. The last thing they want to do is give all of the momentum over.
And I think another thing that's funny to note is if you look at the statistics, CMELLIAPUKU is favored in every skill set, but the match is so even, and it looks like CHOPSTICK Pros are gonna go for hidden one. They get to go for that background.
The background game this week, man. It's
so good.
They've gone ahead and picked the. I believe it's the Russian rap directly into the Russian heavy team.
Yeah, this is a mistake. This is a mistake. They're just like, they're using some black magic here. You can't just go and pick this into a team of all Russians.
I mean, CMELLIAPUKU just picked like DT2 into them, so I suppose it's just returning fire.
True, true. The chaos will never end.
No, man. Awkward aim this. So this one is actually somewhat gimmicky. Somewhat. It is, of course, very aim heavy. It's the hidden one. But it's 210 BPM with some uncomfortable flow.
Yeah, awkward aim and hidden one. Name a better duo.
Yeah. CMELLIAPUKU have liked their hidden. Not usually the aim heavy hidden, but the other hiddens. They've quite liked to get stuck into. But really, neither team have, so this is somewhat uncharted territory for both teams in this tournament.
Should hopefully give us another dogfight of a pick. And here we go into the map soon, I think. We're going to be not seeing Dito in this, surprisingly. Going to be Fumo, Easy Chalk, Armani Dilbo, and Rexys up against Temkana, Markram, Vopro, and Net Why Not. But yeah, uncharted territory. Not really going to know what to see here from either of these teams. But I'm going to be looking at Rexys, I think, to put up a very strong performance here for CHOPSTICK Pros.
Yeah, both these teams have the hidden players to be pretty good at this. Looking at some of those individuals, yeah, Rexys. Looking at Markram.
Probably Net Why Not to put up a good supporting score as well. As well as Fuman. Now, as we said, Vopro, he's been playing really well on the speed maps, but now he has to be a third or fourth player here on the hidden aim. Not having that good of a time. Markram going to be finding a break, though, and Net Why Not. And Temkana. It's a full combo reset for CMELLIAPUKU. Meanwhile, CHOPSTICK Pros still have 3 FCs on Rexys, Armani Dilbo, and Fuma. It's going to be huge for their early combo lead. 2 getting through the first KI.
Yeah, so far so good. The KIs are definitely the harder parts of this map. The verses are a little bit more doable. Pretty consistent in general though, but those KIs are definitely the highlights in difficulty.
Also, this gives us a little bit of insight on the very unique skill set of Armani Dilbo, being very strong on speed as well as this hidden aim map right here.
Yeah, he's putting in a good shift here. He's made a good showing here so far in this match.
But yeah, as mentioned earlier, it's going to be Rexys as well as him to put in the strong performance as Armani finally does break. But still with the FCs and the reestablished combos on Fuma and Easy Chalk, CHOPSTICK Pros are looking dominant on this.
Yeah, as long as Rexys holds, it's not looking good here for CMELLIAPUKU. Everyone breaking on CMELLIAPUKU on this next KI. As a team, they're struggling consistency-wise on this for sure.
Rexy's finally finding the break, but you know, when the lead is up at already 500,000 score, even more than that actually, with only a fourth of the map left, it's just looking solidified already for CHOPSTICK Pros to get on the board with this pick.
Yeah, at this point, and they could pretty much chill for the final KI. That score difference is pretty huge. As a team, looking far stronger on this. Yeah, fire with fire here. It's worked out for CHOPSTICK Pros. Looking at net, why not? To end this strongly here for CMELLIAPUKU. To this final Ki. With that big combo too.
Strongest in the lobby for net, why not? Breaking it right before the last slider, but at the end of the day, they were able to claw back a little bit of the lead, but ultimately not enough, not nearly enough. Chopstick Pros dominating on that one with the S rank coming out from Rexy's and 737k. That is very strong.
Yeah, solid stuff there from Rexy's. That's what you'd expect from him on these sorts of maps. He can really flex, and now the map pools are starting to get a bit trickier. He can really make that work. Nice score. That was a brilliant way to get back into this for CMELLIAPUKU, but now they're 2 points down again.
They've already picked, and it looks like they've gone for DT3. They are just going to continue to roll with the speed because that's what they've been winning. And you know what? You can't really blame them. Going to go with Fontenfield.
Yeah, they're making this speed work. Really impressive that they're making it work against Chopstick Pros. And yeah, going to put the faith into it again. This one's more about raw speed than the last two, which were more about stamina at around 240 BPM. Fairly straightforward, pure speed map this. Classic tune.
Yeah, really, I love this song. Reminds me of the good old days.
Yeah, forget who mapped this though. I just recognise the background. There's an old rank map for this. Was it Natsu, I think?
Yeah, I thought it was Natsu too, but I wasn't sure.
That's what rings a bell. He did map plenty of Toho. I imagine you'll be seeing very similar rosters to those last two speed maps. You're definitely going to be seeing Vopro, that's for sure. The way he's been playing on speed, no way he's not in there. But I imagine the rest of the lineup should be pretty similar. Even with the increased speed of, I think it's a 255 BPM, right?
Yeah. But I'm going to be a little bit afraid for CMELLIAPUKU here on their fourth. Because, you know, you had players like Mr. Future filling in for the fourth on their side. Not really speed players, more on the side of like stream, flow aim, and stamina. Now going to be pushed up to 255 BPM. It's really going to put a little bit more stress on those speed carries, on Vopro, on maybe net, why not as well.
We're quite late into this match now, and we know what Chopstick Pros can do. They can put a strong four together on speed. At this point, surely they must be warm and ready to go on something like this, even if they weren't a bit earlier. So if there's any point they'd want to play this, it'd surely be around about this point in the match, where the picks are starting to thin, players maybe starting to clutch at straws a little bit. But alas, yeah, CMELLIAPUKU going in for what's been working for them so far. I respect it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And you know, it ain't been broke enough to get them 2 points, so they're gonna continue on into this DT3. It looks like Mr. Future is once again going to be their fill player, finding lots of early breaks and act drops that aren't being matched by the side of Chopstick Pros, which is going to give Chopstick Pros an early advantage on this map. There goes Vopro. That is pretty bad. Armani Jilbo does find the trade, but they still have 3 FCs on the side of Chopstick Pros. Meanwhile, it is just net, why not, and Robloxa on the side of CMELLIAPUKU. And there goes net, why not. That is going to start to look a little detrimental. It's just Roblox up against the 3 FCs on the side of Chopstick Pros, all with very good accuracy. But Rexy's gets slow slider. No.
The hardest pattern in the game, slow sliders. Gets everyone.
At some point, you could think you're immune to slow sliders. You're not. Don't lie to yourself. Robloxa still holding strong despite his 94 accuracy, but up against the 297% full combos on Chopstick Pros. It's going to stay in their favor. There goes Fuma, though. Now with Mr. Future's combo, they're going to start to reel it back in. But they really need RLSC to break. Well
poised going into the second half of this now. Roblox's accuracy is increasing, finding a bit more comfort. Mr. Future, though, how's he going to do in this second half?
He's kind of the wild card here, because as long as RLSC holds and Robloxa matches him, it's going to be the combo on Mr. Future that reels in the lead, as long as the two FCs are matching each other. And I think a lot of the slack is going to have to be put on those other players to try to build up their combo, but with those two breaks... Oh, and there goes RLSC! They're going to draw it back in. Robloxa still holding on to his FC. CMELLIAPUKU from behind once again on the speed map. Gonna take it back at the very end.
Yeah, Robloxa, as the map's gone on, he's looked more and more comfortable. Oh, there's the miss aim, though. That's unfortunate. It's 100k. There goes Mr. Future. 2 combos on Chopstick Pros here.
I don't know if there's enough time. Fuma had to hold on to his combo, but he dropped it right when Mr. Future broke. But wait, it's actually so close. It goes back to Chopstick Pros. Oh my god.
The slow slider. Doesn't matter, though.
I didn't think there was enough time. I didn't think there was enough, but Chopstick Pros taking it in the last second and are gonna go up to match point. That is so tragic for CMELLIAPUKU.
Yeah, valiant attempts to pull another comeback there, but not to be. Not to be. Couple of combos to that ending, making the difference there for Chopstick Pros. And they steal that one back. Just about, though. And all of a sudden, they are in a very good position now. Match point.
In a match as chaotic as this one has been, I think I am very happy to be up at match point right now. Got three chances to close out the match before tiebreaker, and 2 of them are going to be on your own pick. I think I feel very good right now if I'm Chopstick Pros.
Robloxa, that was a really valiant attempt. The 800k on that. Another huge individual performance, as well as Mr. Future as well. Filling it in like a champ. But it wasn't going to be enough. Lightning couldn't strike 3 times. Quite a decent amount of the pool lurking around now. There are no more fast maps left. Unless you count the No Mod 2, maybe, 200 BPM streams. In terms of like those sort of picks, but still plenty of the pool to go. Hidden, Hard Rock, DT, Free Mod, all open still.
But that No Mod 2 is a little bit unconventional compared to other No Mod 2s. The curves on that and some overlapping streams are very brutal, and I'm not sure if either of these teams are going to want to chance it on that. I think if I'm Chopstick Pros, I might want to go with the remaining hidden pick, even though it is the AR8 hidden.
I really want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see it too. It was banned. It was banned in the last match. Is that it?
I don't think so.
It's No Mod 1, okay.
Oh, sound the alarm. It's No Mod 1. It's No Mod 1 alert. Hey, you know what though? This No Mod 1's a bit different. This kind of feels like a No Mod 1 if it was mapped in 2014.
I like the sound of that. That is pretty cool.
Or at least that's how it felt to me. It does feel like that sort of era. Still fairly comfortable in style, but when you see it, you'll know what we mean. It's jumps though. It's aim. You know what to expect. It's No Mod 1.
The slot to end all slots, No Mod 1, is the one consistency in more ways than one of OSU tournaments throughout the years. I feel like the slot, even before the slot meta, this has always just been the aim map.
That's true. That's true. Although it did used to be just the easy long map where everyone got 2 100 FCs on it and you were fighting on spinners. I'm glad that doesn't happen anymore and people actually put, more challenging aim in this slot these days.
I'm glad I wasn't really active enough during that era to have to deal with that.
Honestly, mate. Okay, you do get really sick of playing group stages and losing by 100 every single time. Not nice. We're looking on raw aim though in this lineup. It's We haven't seen much of it. Of course, Hard Rock 1 was banned by Chopstick Pros, but in this pool, that Hard Rock 1, it's like a tech aim map. It's Usao. Very different sort of map to this. They have mechanics players that can really run away on a map like this, and the way this has gone in terms of individuals running away on maps, it might only take one player on a team to make a difference here.
And when you start to get to this stage, you really can count on those one players to carry you through matches. If one guy is having a really good match, you could really start to just pick to his strengths and just pray for him to carry you. But it doesn't look like Rexyz is going to be playing this map. It's like we're going to see...
Interesting.
Yeah. Fuma, Venpress, RLSC, and Easy Chalk, though. I think it's a pretty strong roster for this as well. Going to be seeing Markram, Arclight, Vopro, and Mr. Future to try to keep CMELLIAPUKU's Corsace dreams alive.
We haven't seen too much of Venpress in this game so far, but what a time to pop in if he can take this point for his team.
Come in for the last map of the match, potentially, on your own pick. Venpress is a fairly strong Nomad 1 player, so I think he's coming at a good time as the rest of his team kind of crumbles apart next to him at the early stages of this map. Gonna be giving the early lead over to CMELLIAPUKU, still with their 3-way full combo. Surprised to see all those early breaks happening at once on the side of Chopstick Pros, though. This isn't necessarily a very difficult part of the map. But, you know, into the key eyes, we see a couple breaks come out from CMELLIAPUKU. 3 breaks, actually. And as Chopstick Pros have reestablished their backing combos, they are going to start to take the lead back. It's just Arclight left for CMELLIAPUKU.
Yeah, quite a few of the players on CMELLIAPUKU finding breaks on that harder key eye section. That's where the harder patterns are, for sure. Chopstick Pros looking pretty good as a team through that.
Yeah, Easy Chalk and Fuma both holding through that after their early breaks. Going to be bringing their combos up at around the high 300s, low 400s. And they have taken the lead back now. As Venpress continues to hold on to his FC, matching Arclight. Those combos on Fuma and Easy Chalk are going to be basically free in terms of gaining lead. But CMELLIAPUKU has started to take their combos back as well. Markram, Mr. Future, and Vopro all above 200.
Oh, Mr. Future.
There comes Venpress, though. Full combo now gone for Chopstick Pros.
Oh, that's going to hurt a lot. Arclight now with a huge opportunity. Bit more of this verse to go before the next key eye.
Arclight, no matter what, has to hold, but he finds the break, and Easy Chalk and Fuma continue to hold. I think that might be it. Especially as all of CMELLIAPUKU also collapses. They don't have any combo anymore. Fuma does find the break on the side of Chopstick Pros, but it's going to be Easy Chalk now to run the combo into the ending. And it looks like Chopstick Pros are going to end up eliminating CMELLIAPUKU here in Losers Bracket Round 2.
Yeah, they've got nothing to combat this. I think this is going to be all over here for CMELLIAPUKU. It was a valiant fight, though. I'm still kind of shocked they took the DT picks, but it turns out they're a closet DT team. Or at least they have some very good DT players on their roster, but it ain't going to be enough.
Yeah, if anything, this match embodied the chaos of quarterfinals that you alluded to before the match. You love to see some chaotic dogfights of matches, and you know, Chopstick Pros winning 6-2 looks a little definitive, but you know, a lot of these picks were really close, coming down to just the last few notes. So, Chopstick Pros, though, gonna end up on top, finishing 6-2, gonna advance to Losers Bracket Round 3. And it is gonna be GG well played.
Yeah, Venpress coming in for that last map, almost top scorer in the lobby as well, so doing extremely well coming in that late stage, as well as Easy Chalk. But in the end, yeah, Chopstick Pros are going to move on. They're going to be playing again this weekend. It's not all over for them. But CMELLIAPUKU, commiserations. A solid run, but this is going to be the end of the road for them. Thanks so much for playing, though.
Yeah, it looks like CMELLIAPUKU gonna be eliminated in losers bracket round 2. Another seed upset, by the way. CMELLIAPUKU seed 17 losing to seed 22. Chopstick Pros will move on to face the winner of Le Petit Pots and the Whoopening. And as this match ends, I'd like to mention once again our sponsor, Momokai. Use code Corsace on Momokai. You will get 10% one of their sim pads. Very good for Osu. Might win some speed picks with them, you never know.
And of course, as well, we always post threads on the Reddit for each match, and we are eagerly awaiting what you have to say on those. So go ahead, check us out on there. Let us know what you think. Plenty more happening this weekend, Miles. So many games in this chaotic quarterfinals weekend. Plenty more.